Hey everybody, welcome to This Tree and Me. I'm Cory J. Riggs. I appreciate everybody being here. So, as promoted throughout the week, tonight's episode is going to be about courage versus fear. And I've debated on putting the verse in there or and how to look at it, but it really is a verse, and it's an opponent. It's an internal war. It's a struggle. It's a fight. It's a battle. You can put whatever terminology you would like on that, right? And so, first off, sorry about the voice. I have retired from coaching, but I went out this weekend and watched a few teams. And obviously, when I'm on the sidelines, I'm going to coach. So please bear with the scratchiness, and I appreciate that. But it is a battle. So last week when I decided Monday morning when it came to me that this is what I wanted to do, I put a lot of energy, intention, and focus on this topic. And, you know, there's things that I do in the morning, and I listen to certain podcasts. I have certain meditations that I do. And one of them has really been hitting me very hard. It's a motivational, inspirational video, and I have a few of them, but this one is really, really stuck with me. And how to explain fear. Let's start with fear a little bit first. For me, fear manifests in first control. I want to control the situation. Whatever that happens to be, driving, my children, my life, my work, the narrative on a story. And if I can't control it, then I get angry at it. And so my fear really manifests very hard into the control and anger, And it's going to manifest in many different ways. So for everybody, it's going to be a little different, and you can just start recognizing when it's coming up. You can feel it. I'm not alone in this. I know you understand that when you're trying to do something, or you're facing a meeting coming up, or you have a talk that needs to happen, or there's a situation in life that you're not looking forward to being in, you get that internal knot. You get that voice really ramped up in your head, giving you all kinds of reasons, either that you're not good enough, that you can't do it, that it's not going to succeed, that your story is going to be more important than whatever the situation is. Instead of letting it just happen, you want to dictate the story. I want to dictate the story. I want to make the story favorable to me. So, but when you start feeling that ramping up, you're very aware of it. That's the fear. That's the resistance. And to lean into it is very difficult, but it's needed. It's necessary to get through and grow through fear, and to learn and to understand that you can get through things. You just have to lean into it. And it takes a lot of courage. It really does. And it could be the smallest of things, guys. And that's where I would suggest for people to really start, who want to start facing those things. Start with small things. If it's waking up every day, getting out of bed at a certain time every day, being consistent to it. You know, every day you wake up, your head goes on, right? It just starts going. As soon as you're aware inside and you're out of that sleep, the voices start talking. You know, the day's this. Oh, we got this. Oh, we got this. So maybe for me, it was simply set an alarm every day at the same exact time with no snooze, and just forcing myself to get up and start my day. That was one little win, and I'm being very consistent with it. There are days, and I'll talk about this morning because that was one day where, and again, I was out of town, I was in a hotel, but I don't change my alarms for anything of that nature. So it could be anything. It could be having that conversation that it's a little scary, but it's not one of those super overwhelming one that's gonna, change your life one way or the other. Simply telling somebody, hey, you know what? I really don't want to do that. I appreciate the offer, or whatever it is, right? Just find small wins. That will build the muscle to face the next one, and face the next one, and face the next one. And the other side of that is you'll absolutely learn that it's okay. I can do these things. I can get through them. One of mine, which I mentioned in the first episode, I had a conversation with my mom. I had a very hard conversation with my mom about this and where I'm at and my journey and what I'm doing and how things are going. And there were certain things in that conversation that were very difficult to have. And after that day, that is when I really started being able to face the next one and keep leveling up. And that's the other part. You face one, there's more coming, right? You're gonna be happy, you're gonna feel good, you're gonna be excited. Well, then you're gonna step up to another level, and that voice is gonna get louder, and it's gonna get stronger, and it's gonna be more diligent about just trying to set we want to stay here, be safe, right? Stay within what you know. Don't risk yourself. All that. So start with little wins. It helped me. I believe it's obviously, in my opinion, if you're going to climb Mount Everest, are you going to go climb Mount Everest the first time? I would assume not. You're probably going to start with little hiking, little hills to the smaller mountains, et cetera, right? There's many examples that we could use for that. And fear also then, if when it's in you, you can go to alcohol, you can go to drugs, you can go to food. I've done all of them in my life. And again, anger is another one. So it can show up in many different ways. But the biggest thing that I would say is find them. When you feel it, sit with it and feel it. The more you do it, the more practice you have in it, the more comfortableness you'll have, the more understanding you'll have, listening to your body, because it will tell you what path to take. When that fear kicks in, when that doubt kicks in, when that negativity kicks in, that is telling you you're doing the right thing. Go do that. And it's trying to keep you away from that. It's really that simple for me. Now, it's not simple to face it, and it's not always necessarily simple to attack it and be courageous enough to live in it. Kayaking was one of the things that helped me face these different things. Going out there, hitting a little bit of rapids, being completely in the control of the river, that helped me with the control side of things. That also showed me I can do these things. There's so many other examples for that, but you have to find yours. You have to hopefully start recognizing and taking the little victories when you can, and just keep stepping up. And then when you step up, you're going to have a nice run for a little bit, understanding that there is another mountain to climb very soon. There is another storm on the horizon. There's always will be. It's not going to go away. It's not going to stop. You can probably look back in your life right now and see things like that, of that nature. So once you get through one, and then you'll hit a part where, okay, things start getting rough. And at first I was always like, what's going on? Why am I having so much issue with this? And I would find out, well, maybe I wasn't following my practices every day. The practices that I find that calm me, put me in a good state of mind, and just help me keep calm and forward thinking and just present in the exact moment. I started recognizing that. So that was the practice that, okay, you're on the right path, man. Just be consistent with it. And then there'd be the next level, and it will just keep going. And as you level up, that mountain gets steeper. That storm becomes hail and tornadoes. It just will not quit. And that's the challenge of it. You can either succumb to it and let it take over your life, and as I did, for many, many years, right? I'll be 55 here in just a few weeks. And I've been running from mine since I was a young boy, since I was probably 10 or 11 years old, when that really first started for me, and the first life events that really kicked me in that direction. And then from there, that just kept leveling up. And there's a moment that when I went to treatment, I was 18 years old, just out of high school. And, I was 19 years old and just out of high school though. And I ended up going to treatment. And when I came out of treatment, there was a teacher at my old high school that she supported me and a girlfriend that I was dating at the time, kind of my high school sweetheart. And she allowed me to come to one of her classes and speak to the class. Now, I have no idea it happened once. I have not sat and thought about it of why it didn't happen more, why I didn't try to pursue it more. But there was that moment when I was a young man that was like, dude, here's your calling. It's right here. And I wasn't ready for it. And that's fine, right? But I can look back at those moments and see that. And I allowed that fear. I allowed whatever the fear was, whatever the doubt was, I simply was not ready to take that journey at the time. And there's many more moments throughout life. So I've struggled this week with how this episode is going to go and what I was going to talk about. And it came down to, I think the best way I can talk about it right now is what I learned this week. So Wednesday night, I'm going through my writing and doing some things that I do at night before I go to bed. And I didn't sleep well. I tossed and I turned, and I didn't understand what was going on. So finally, it ended up being roughly about 3:30 in the morning. I was tired of it, and I got up. So I went downstairs, and instantly something kicked inside of me saying, all right, bud, take care of this stuff. Let's get rid of all your streaming, all your TV. You don't need all the extra noise in your life, all the distractions. Let's get back focused to what you're trying to do here. And so that's where it kind of just started. And then I get to where, okay, so now it's about 5:30. My alarm goes off as it normally would. And I went throughout my normal morning routine. That said, as I'm going through it, my mind is still there. I'm not really truly focused on what I'm doing. My meditation isn't as strong. I'm letting thoughts leak in. And so the first part of it, I get through it. I just push through it, right? That's part of the process of, it may not be perfect, but you got to do your best. Your best may be 60% today. It's not going to be 100 every day. It's not going to be 0 every day. It's going to fluctuate as you fluctuate. But as long as you do your best, you will be fine. And I've just been practicing that, right? So that's been something that I've learned through this. So, all right, I'm toughing through it. So then the next part is where I do a little bit of yoga and a little bit of stretching and just try to get my body limber for the day. Nothing too heavy. And when I'm listening to that, or I'm doing that, I'm listening to one of my motivational videos that I like to listen to. And it's one of the ones that I was just talking about. Well, there was a part in it, and my mind wouldn't stop, and finally, and I do this stretch in a door where I hold on to this door, and I'm just leaning and stretching my shoulders and my back and things like that. And I just started crying. Just crying my eyes out. And finally, I just said, I give in. I am your vessel. Whatever you want out of me, take. Just use me for however you want. I do not know what this fear is. I do not know what this voice is trying to get out of me, but I don't want that in my life anymore. So I am yours. Just use me. So that helped. So I get through that, get through my stretching, right? And the next part is a morning meditation that I it's one of my favorites. I absolutely love this one. And so I get through that really well. So I'm like, all right, here we go. I'm starting to get it. So then what I typically do is I go, shower, get ready for the day, do a few different things. Well, then I take my dog for a walk, Kirby. And so what I've started doing over the last couple of weeks is I haven't been grounding enough, which is going out, taking my socks and shoes off, walking on the earth, listening some guided meditation sometimes, or just being in nature, whatever it is. But it's shoes off, socks off, feet on the ground, just walking and being, with the earth. So there's a strip out here that I've wrote about and talked about and other things that I started when I take Kirby for a walk in the morning, and the sun's coming up, so I get the sun in my eyes, right? I get all those things that I want in my life right now. So I'm walking back with him, and as we turn the corner and we start heading down to where our house is, a part of that motivational video really started hitting me again. It really started to inspire me. It wasn't negative. It was just an inspirational. And here I am walking down the street, crying like a baby, just so excited and thrilled to have this enlightened moment in my life right now that I can do this. What this is, I don't know, but I can do this. I can do a podcast. I can have a spiritual journey. I can inspire others to find their light, their vision of whatever their best self is. I can do this. And that's and I just built from there. So that was Thursday morning. So then this weekend, a very, very, very close friend of mine that I've met through coaching, he coached one of my daughters, and he probably about 15 years younger than me. So he's like a little brother to me. I love and adore this man. There's many, but he set this up. So being the Kansas boy, they never used to go to Kansas tournaments until I moved here. So here and there, but regularly. So we'd go to Kansas City and we'd go to Wichita, and we just keep doing that. So with my retirement this year, and me not being as accessible and me changing my lifestyle and doing different things, there's just been a little gap. And everyone, including myself, has been struggling with that a little bit, right? The rhythm of our friendship has changed. Not the love, not the care, but the rhythm of it. So that's obviously scaring me, but I'm in my head. I know what I'm trying to do. I know where I'm going. My friends don't. So, Cory's leaving us. Cory's abandoning us in a sense. They're not saying that. It's probably not even in their head, but I'm sure there's a feeling of a disconnection. Also, Cory's trying to grow and trying to become a different person, and he doesn't speak the same way. He doesn't do the same things. He's not a knucklehead, which I still am, but not in certain ways. So there's a lot of that. So he said, hey, bud, I'm going to get and this was a while back, I'm going to get all the coaches together. We're going to all go to this tournament together, and we want you to come. Absolutely, man. And it's Wichita, Kansas. So let's go. So that was Friday. So get up there. We all meet a little bit, go eat some stuff, hang out a little bit with some parents that came in that night. Soccer. And then Saturday night, we all met again, and I just had a rough time with certain parts of soccer. Still, I hate to use the word triggering, but it's a trigger to me to where it gets me into a negative competitive state. This parent's doing this or this, and the coaches are talking, right? So we're a bunch of coaches talking about all this stuff, and I try to get out of that so heavily. Well, that night we couldn't, and it was a struggle for me. And so I just got up and left. Got up, said goodnight, everybody, what have you. And I stepped outside, and I went there's a little pond behind the hotel where we were. Just went out there, put in some music in the headphones, went for a little walk, sat by the pond, and just sat with it. And eventually the voice started calming down. My true self, my soul started speaking to me and just giving me the, hey dude, this is the journey you're talking about. These are the things that your mentors or the people that you listen to, as like Jay Shetty, there's a lot of messages that I listen to of his that really hit me in this moment. They're just protecting me, right? Their fear of that disconnect or where I'm trying to do or I'm trying to go, it's their fear. And I can't take it personally, right? So if you've never read the 4 Agreements, and I listened to that all the way home from Wichita today, I needed that. So 2 months ago, I probably wouldn't have been able to even do this. To have that much courage and recognition to say, okay, I'm sitting in this fear. I need to be in it. What do I need to help me get through it? That nature helped me that night. Just going out and sitting down instead of going to my room, laying in bed, tossing and turning with my head going. Get outside, get some music, listen to some classical music, and just relax until your body tells you to go inside. Whether that's 30 minutes, 3 hours, I didn't care. I just needed that. People were texting me, people were calling, and I responded to something. Hey, I'm good. I'm out by the pond. I'm just chilling, guys. I'll be good. So there was a lot of that for me that night. So then this morning, wake up, get out to the field, and I hadn't really coached too much all weekend. But that morning game, there was 5 teams total. So this is the 5th team that I hadn't watched and been a part of all weekend. And I coached like I haven't coached in a long time. It was educational. It was positive. It was, some accountability. You're a coach. They're in a competitive sport. They're there to win a tournament. They're there to win a game. But I needed that. I needed that coaching moment. I needed that moment with those players, with those kids, just to get everything out. Because when I am doing that, I am in that present moment. There is nothing else in the world. I was locked into that game. The boys were playing so well. We ended up losing by 1. They played extremely well. So on the way home, I'm driving home and I'm listening to the 4 Agreements and the head starts kicking in again. It's, hey, turn on some music. This isn't working. Go take a break and get a soda and some things. And I'm trying to cut out caffeine as much as I can. I still drink my coffee, but I'm trying to cut out pop as much as I can. Things like that. So it's trying to give me all these excuses and all these avenues to get out of listening to this book. No. Once again, sit in it, live in it, just courageously get through it. Just pound your way through it. And it just kept going and it kept going and it started hitting in me and it started really resonating in me that I'm doing the right thing. That this work, this podcast, it is my job. It is my life's calling. But not for the reasons that maybe have come to me in the past of why I want to do it, what it means to me. It just came to me of, you're just doing this for you. If you get no traction, if nobody gets any, anything from this, if I get no views, no anything, right? That's okay. At the end of the day, I'm doing this simply for me. And if I can share that, great. And where that hit me the most was with my children. And as we've talked about, I don't have the best relationship with all of my children. So it really hit me on the way home of, you know what? Even if I don't have any relationship with them, I have to know and believe that they will see this and they will see the change in me. And whether they're ready to accept that back, our relationship back or not, I have to know and believe in the faith that I have in this work and what it's given to me and what I've seen already with giving to others, that it will help them. It will show them, no matter what, if my dad at 54, almost 55 years old, can change that much and become truly that person that he's tried to show us over the years, that he's going to go back and work and this and that, dipping a toe, but back to the fear of life, because I don't want people to see who I truly am, who I truly want to be. That's only going to benefit them, and that's only going to benefit their children if they have them, which there is one, and their people around them. And it can't be the reward of them coming back to me. That cannot be the sole reason I'm doing this. If that's why I'm doing this, then I shouldn't do it. And that's what I recognize that I've been doing in the past. Everything that I've been doing, every time that I've tried to lose weight, every time that I've tried to do something to better myself, it was always for an aesthetic outside reward. Every time. Until this one. It's different. I can't explain it. People are going to believe or not believe, and I can't worry about that. I can't take any of that personally. I can't worry about what other people feel, see, and believe. Only what I feel, see, and believe. What I also started recognizing throughout this week, why I'm putting intention on this, and it's the crazy thing, people say, oh, wow, this happened for a reason, and it's very true in that. The other part that I took out of that is, like these games, this stuff would have happened whether I was focusing on courage and fear this week or not. But the fact that I had the intentional focus on that's what I wanted to talk about this week, and that's what I wanted to bring to you all this week, was the lessons that I took out of these things. I'm sure if I was focusing on something else, those lessons, I would have got those lessons out of the same exact moments. For instance, there is a family, and I will never use names and talk about people in a negative fashion ever, unless they want to have that conversation with me. And this isn't definitely negative, but there's a family that I am absolutely graced and great. I'm probably going to get emotional. To have in my life. And the mom, and they're all beautiful, but the mom, and I know that she takes a lot of grief. She is such a giver. She does everything she can for her children, for the team, for me. She is just that person. And her family and her kids back her in all of this. It is just, they are beautiful people. And I am grateful that they are in my life. How they got in my life is a whole funny story. But if I tell too much, people will know who, they're probably going to know who I'm talking about anyway. But that doesn't matter to me either. They need these flowers. But I started recognizing courageousness in other people. I started recognizing courageousness in the players. There's players out there, like I said, there's multiple teams that were on one team and got moved to another team for different reasons, but it is competitive. So, they went from the first team to the second team, and those parents and those kids are in the same hotel. You had the whole hotel to our teams. It was awesome. But I sat there and thought about this at the table while I'm sitting there talking to all these people. Like just 6 months ago, we had to sit down with some of these families and tell them, you know what? They're not going to be on this team any longer. They're going to be on this. Right or wrong in the decision, you're always going to make good decisions, bad decisions. Our decisions are always for the best of the kids in this aspect. We want them to play more. They need more development. Or if they get moved up, okay, they may not be ready for that. But you know what? We think they can handle the pressure, and we want to see how they handle it and if they can grow and if they... But that's a very hard and difficult thing. And there's those boys, and there's the boys they used to play with, and there's the parents, and they're sitting around, having drinks and talking, and we're all together. And it just hit me like, what? How do they feel right now to be sitting in there? So that's beautiful. And this particular mom, she does so much that people, I'm assuming, are always, not assuming, because I've heard it, and I'm sure she's heard it, and people who stand out and do things like that people always want to throw stones, and there's ulterior motives. They want their kid to do this, or they want more of this, they want to be on that team, whatever it is. And I've seen them in so many different situations, and she just keeps showing up. And the more I sat there and thought about that, and thought about those parents, and thought about the kids who used to start that maybe don't anymore, kids who are getting less playing time, and how do you motivate them, and how do you talk to them, and how do you help them, the courage that they need to have to go through those moments and grow through those moments. It's more than just the sport. It's more than just the game. It's life. There's so many moments like that. And I'm so grateful to have these experiences and these people in my life that I can learn from. And we've had beautiful conversations. I shared with them what I'm doing. I shared the links to what I'm doing, which scares the living hell out of me. Absolutely scares the living hell out of me. Because for some of them, they're very new to my life. For some of them, they've known me for years. So they've known Cory, Coach Cory. They have a history. So it may be hard, just like my friends. It may be hard for some of them, and which it is, to think, who's this guy to be that? Come on, man. What, they never say it to me. And it's in my head, obviously, right? This is my fear, not theirs. This fear I'm talking about is mine. So sharing the link, sharing what I'm doing. Some of the players have already found and started following me, things like that. And you know what? I just got to be okay with it. What's the harm? People talk about you, whether you do good or do bad, whether you go down this path or down that path, whether you're successful or not. So you might as well just be you. This week has really been a learning lesson of my voice in my head, that harsh feeling in my gut. It's never going to go away. How do I live with it? How do I find a way to just say, you know what, you're there, appreciate you. Sometimes you're giving me good lessons. And that's what I've tried to turn everything around into. Everything that I've gotten in this week, I've tried to turn around and say, I needed that lesson. I need to see that in a different way. How can I see that in a different way? How can I find the learning lesson in this? For instance, like with my boys, how do I show them I'm not going anywhere, even though I'm going somewhere? Physically, but emotionally, spiritually, I am still their brother. I love these guys. How do I continue to show them that and allow them to see that, okay, he may not be as available and as much around us as normal, or answering the phone and doing different things like that, but he's still part of us. That's my job to show them. I can't wait. If I want them in my life, I can't wait for them to see this. I just need to be patient, take my breaths, walk out of rooms, or not show up to certain things when I know it's probably, or when I have a feeling it's not going to be good for me, or if I'm in the middle of it and it's not good for me. They're not being mean to me. They're not hating me. They're not pushing me out of their lives. They're just scared, just like I am. So there's so many lessons that I've learned in all this. And I'm grateful for it. It's hard. It hurts. You obviously saw the emotion coming out. But that's the only way I'm going to get to where I want to go. But I know I can do this. And I know I can do this for me. And that's the only reason I want to do this. And I hope and I pray that it can help others, and that I can inspire and help others find their light and find their purpose. And they can look at Cory or Coach Cory or whatever they call me, whatever their relationship is with me. You know what? if he's brave enough, if he's courageous enough, if he can go step out of his comfort zone and go try these new things and fail and fail and fail, just like this podcast, it's a work in progress. There's so much learning and growth in every aspect of this that hopefully that can encourage anybody. One person would be beautiful. If I can help one person, then that person can help one person. It just keeps going. So I want to try to keep these a little bit shorter than my last one. Episode 2 got a little bit long-winded. There's just a lot to this, guys. But the biggest lessons that I learned this week: fear is not your enemy. It is an adversary. It is a teacher. It is a partner in crime. It is so much. But courage is the key to getting through it, understanding fear is not going to kill me. I can do hard things. I can step through this and be courageous and do it again and find success and wins in places where I have failed prior. Fitness. I've been in this since August 1st, 2022. I'm not going back. I'm not going anywhere. This is my lifestyle now. Working out. Now I'm doing that a lot more. That's my lifestyle now. Being consistent, being courageous when you don't want to do it, when you don't want to get up, when you don't want to go face your boss or face your friend or whatever it is. Understanding, doing that will help you more than you will ever know. And you will never know it until you do it. And then you can look back and say, I did that. So when that next one comes on that horizon, when you see that storm cloud coming over that hill and the whistles start going off and the sirens start going off, lean into it. Be smart. Listen to yourself, right? But I can do this. I can get through it. It may take a while. It may take more time than anything else has ever taken. Whatever it is, but you'll get through it. You'll be okay. The more I do it, the bigger steps I can take. Just like this. This is episode 3 now. I'm not worried about 4. I'll worry about 4 when it comes up. Tomorrow morning, we'll start thinking about it, writing about tonight and this week. I don't know what 4 is going to be about, but I know I'm going to have a 4. I 100% know I'm going to have a 4 because I had a 1. And then I had a 2. And then 3. So there's a lot to say about this, guys. I'm going to get better at this. I hope to get better at this. I hope you can help share, comment, subscribe, and like, and just give me feedback, because that's the only way I'm going to grow. That's the only way I'm going to learn how to help others, how to help myself, how we can help each other, grow together, learn together, right? It's not going to look the same. You're going to have yours. I'm going to have mine. But we can inspire each other to help each other to be the best that we can possibly be. Get out of the normal, everyday grind of life and just surviving. And just become who you want to be. And be true to yourself and show that version of your life. I appreciate everybody being here. I'm Cory J. Riggs. This is this tree in me. Episode 3, Fear versus Courage. I love you all. Be blessed.